In this last lesson, we're going to conclude the video course in Substance 3D, and probably in the future, we're going to update and create more video guides concerning Substance and other similar 3D software and render engines and 3D modeling tools and 3D rendering tools. We saw that in the package at the moment in Substance 3D, we have basically everything. We can create like models, we can sculpt, even if they are kind of a little bit basics with Modeler, and we can also set up some really basic rendering with the stager. And we can do, of course, the most important thing of all, which is painting in many different types, and especially in Painter. And also we can create materials using Substance Designer. And of course, we can create materials also with Painter. And so this is more or less what we can do. And we can also do a little bit of photogrammetry, which is creating 3D models using pictures. So we went through all the different software inside this Substance package, and we explore all the most important features. We mainly focus on Painter, which still is the most important tool in this package because it's the more complete. But I'm confident that in the future, all the other like sampler and stager and designer and modeler will develop more and more, because this is now where Adobe is going with the 3D. So it's concentrating, it's focusing on the Substance package. But things can change in the future, so we're gonna try to be updated and try to see all the various evolutions. Now, if we want to move forward from Substance, we want to use Substance in other software, or we want to continue our work, which we perhaps stopped in, let's say, Blender or 3ds Max or Cinema 4D or wherever. Now, we have also the possibility to use plugins and add-ons. So if we look for plugin Substance, we have a page here that is going to bring us this section of the Adobe website, where we can find plugins for game engines like Unreal Engine, Unities, and then all these other software right here. So you have 3D modeling software like 3ds Max, Maya, Cinema 4D, Modo, Rhino, and many more. Now, many of these are also inside the channel as video courses, so you can check the lessons about these various tools. But Substance work well also in combination with other visualization, staging, and animation tools, like, for example, Blender, or we have View and Twinmotion, T-Render, and other stuff here. So you see how many are out there. And these are also, you see, we can use it with the render engines like Arnold in 3ds Max mainly, and Maya, and then V-Ray, Corona, Octane, and RenderMon, Redshift, and so on. So I'm just going to do a couple of examples here. I cannot show all of those. So I'm going to go for, I think, two of the most popular, which will be Blender and Twinmotion. Now, Blender is more for modeling, but you can also do sculpting and, really a lot of stuff. It evolved a lot in the last years, and you'll find various courses in the channel about Blender in architecture and character design, also basic Blender. And Twinmotion is also pretty interesting. It's really easy to use, and you can download like free version if you don't use it commercially, so you can start right away with Blender and Twinmotion. So if you don't know how to download and install Blender or Twinmotion, I'm gonna give you a couple of hints, but you'll find again the courses of these with the explanation in the first lesson on how to install Blender and Twinmotion. So let's proceed here. This is the page where all the plugins are listed. And for example, if I want to use Blender, I can search for here in the manual, and you can see there are instructions for downloading and installing if you think it's too hard. But I'm going to show you how to do it in this video anyway. So basically, plugins in Blender, they are called add-ons. So again, this is just an example, and in all the other software, it should work more or less in the same way. So first thing, you locate the instructions here. Then you need to go in the download page. So this is right here. So if I click on this, it's going to bring me here. And this is the Adobe Substance 3D add-on for Blender page. Then you scroll down, follow the instruction. Now for Blender, we need two packages. We need this one here. So click on download and start downloading. They will be downloaded in your download folder. And then we also need this Adobe Substance integration tool. So first download this and then this. And again, you'll find other instructions and also a quick video on how to use Substance materials in this page. So it's pretty, as you can see, informative. Now, again, if you don't have Blender, go to blender.org and download it and install it for free. At the moment, we are at the version 4.1. And so let's continue here. And for Twinmotion, now Twinmotion is on the same family of Unreal Engine. So they're both available if you first install the Epic Games Launcher. So you should look for the Epic Games Launcher, and then you can install it using this little launcher. Now, once you download it and install the launcher, then you will be ready to also download and install Twinmotion and Unreal Engine. Now you can see that this one here on the front, this is the Epic Games Launcher. So it's already downloaded and installed. You can install a lot of games here from Epic Games. And down here at the left, down here, you have Unreal Engine. So this is the section dedicated both to Unreal Engine and to Twinmotion. So if you want to download Unreal Engine, you can download it. You can see that right now I am downloading the version 5.3. I've already installed the version 5.2, so I can launch it from here. So once you install it, you can launch it. You can also delete or uninstall previous version from here. So this is a management panel where you manage all your Unreal Engine projects and versions. And also we have a marketplace where we can find other stuff for Twinmotion. For example, in the case of Substance integration and interoperability, we need to go here and search for Substance. So if you type here Substance, you have here like a quick list, but what we're looking for is Substance 3D for Unreal Engine. So if you click here, there you go. This is Substance 3D for Unreal Engine. Now you need to have before the Unreal Engine install, and then you can click here, install to engine. It's gonna ask you where to install it, and then you click on install, and that's gonna go in the queue to be installed. And with this, we can use now materials in Substance materials inside Unreal Engine. So that's another example. Now for Twinmotion, if you wanna use Twinmotion, you're gonna go here, and I've already downloaded the Twinmotion latest version, but which supports Substance materials. This is really important right here. Well, you can still use Substance materials in other Twinmotion version, in older version, but in that case, you need to transform that material and kind of recreate it inside Twinmotion. Instead, right now with this latest version, we can just use the Substance materials already there are in Twinmotion as libraries, and we can also import more from the 3D assets library from the Adobe Substance Share. So I'm just gonna again do a couple of examples. So if you want to start, you can use like the free educational version or the trial version or the community edition. That they're all for free if you don't use them commercially. So I have the commercial version here, and I'm just gonna launch it later, just to show you where you can get both Unreal Engine and Twinmotion. I'm going to start with Blender because again, it's open source, totally free, and we can use it right away. I have here the download folder where I downloaded some of the Substance library materials. I'm gonna show you again how to do that, and make sure the format for the materials is ASB ASAR and not SP. There you go. So this one here, SB ASAR, and not this other one, SPSM, because that's not gonna be readable. And then you can use also 3D asset like OBJ that we find in again Substance assets. But let's focus on Blender first. So these are the two